Hey guys, welcome back. Lunatic Astrology, your astrologer Lori Lothian, and we're talking today about the February 1st beautiful, gorgeous Aquarian new moon at 12 degrees of Aquarius. And I'm going to go into some of the crazy ass qualities of this amazing new beginning for all of us. It's happening in such a delicious sky with some really funky asteroids, such as Diana, the goddess of the hunt, and Urania, the god of the muse of astronomy and astrology, also being quite involved, and some help and support from both opportunity and Uranus, as well as a lovely energy connecting all of the sky to Hygeia, the healer of the mind body herself. So let's get going on that moon and how it can bring healing and opportunity and abundance to all of us. But before I get to that, before I actually dive right into that story, a couple of notes to file. One, I'd like to talk about the fact that if you're watching my video and you like what I do, just like, subscribe, comment, share, you know, the deal. Hit the bell for notifications. It really does help my channel grow. I finally made it past 3,000 subscribers. Yay! And I'm working my way to 4,000 subscribers. Or yeah, so help me out. Second of all, check my description box below for everything I have going. Get a reading with me. Grab any of my free PDFs, like down below you see freebies, like my free meanings of the houses PDF or my synchronicity meditation. I have a lot of stuff for free, but also you can check out buying something like, hey, the 2022 year ahead astrology forecast, an hour plus video just for your sign. And I think it's only like $14, or you can get the year ahead for all signs, and that's still really relevant. We still have like most of the year ahead, 2022, as well as you can sign up for my newsletter, Cosmic Moonshine, and you get 30% code off for a reading with me. You get a bunch of free gifts right up front, and you get all of my stuff like my year ahead readings for 30% off. I mean the forecast that you can buy for your sign, sun, moon, or rising. All right, so let's get going. I'm kind of tired, had a long day, did a lot of clients, and now I finished teaching a class on Mercury Cazimi. But I want to get you guys done before I lose the light. I'm recording on Sunday, January 23rd. And this goes to my Patreon community first, so you'll probably be seeing it on YouTube around the 24th or so, or 5th or 6th, probably the 25th. All right, so let's get going. So let me show you the sky first, and then I'm going to do the all signs, don't forget, and talk about how this impacts you based on your sun, moon, or rising. I'm not going to stick with this, but I want to show you what's up, so you get to see what I'm seeing. There are a lot of planets in Capricorn right now, guys. There's a cluster over here, a cluster F, but I'm not going to go into that. Why? Because it's really in aversion to this moon, similar with Jupiter over here and Neptune and Pisces. They're not really interacting with the moon. I'm not putting all the planets, just the ones that have the most active storylines. So let's talk about what they are. This is a T-square. It's gritty. There's no doubt about it. It can cause tension and dynamic energy that's not always easy. In the United States chart, this is set for Washington, D.C. This moon is in the Aquarius zone of, it's in the Aquarius zone of the sky, but in the United States natal chart, for instance, it's in the United States third house, which can be all the elementary schools in the United States. And interestingly enough, I have a feeling this is like the back to school. Everybody get back to school, forget the variant, Omicron is done, etc. But in the meantime, for all of us, this gritty T-square has meaning. Uranus is the god of unexpected change and sudden shifts, and he breaks up stagnation. He's on the asteroid Abundantia. Abundantia is abundance, okay? It's pretty simple, you know, it is what it sounds like, really. Or is he on Ops? Oh, now I forgot where he was. Let me go look at my sheets. Sorry, guys. Which asteroid is he on? You can't make this up. What happens when you have been working all day? Let's take a look at which asteroid he was on. Oh, Uranus is on Ops, not Abundantia. I apologize. Oh, he's on Abundantia and Ops. You cannot make this up. So Ops is the wife of, first of all, Ops is about opportunity, okay? And Abundantia is about abundance. So either which way, you're winning, right? So Uranus is sitting on the wife of Saturn, mother of Jupiter, goddess of abundance, hope, happy endings after time of pain, all of that, love of the earth, respecting of resources. So that's what Saturn's sitting on, as well as the asteroid sitting beside him of abundance called Abundantia, right? And now Abundantia is also a very powerful thing for things like prosperity and wealth. It's goddess of abundance, prosperity, cornucopia, material wealth, abundant energy, etc. So green thumb, things grow, everything flourishes. So we got so much energy of Abundantia and Ops sitting on Uranus, and that's going to pop a bunch of energy. connected to this new beginning in Aquarius of this new moon, where Saturn is also conjunct the moon. Now, Saturn in Aquarius, sure, it can be sometimes, you know, constrictive and restrictive rules and regulations that we, the people, must follow. I have to say that. But Uranus is squaring it, which is breaking us out of some of that constriction and restriction. And Hygeia, the goddess of healing and wholeness and wellness and goodness, she's also in this storyline. She's sitting on fixed star Mimosa, a very positive star that can help us have charisma, make our dreams come true, the gift of the gap, a bunch of stuff like that. And she's also activating opposition to Uranus and a square to the moon. Some of this Hygeia is a hygiene, right? There is no doubt about what some of this might be about, that we're going to end up in a situation. Am I sharing with you guys? Anyway, we're going to end up in a situation where the rules of hygiene, masking, hand washing, and Uranus disruption is going to mean an end of a lot of the protocols we've been doing for 2 years around the pandemic, especially just like in England, they're going in like a week into the mask free, everybody do your own thing, gets back to normal, literally, because the Omicron variant has peaked and waned. I already said long ago, listen to my channel over and over again, that Mars is new rising in Scorpio at the end of November, heralded the end of the pandemic. I've been talking about it for months. And then I also mentioned that Omicron was the panacea, the cure-all, based on various factors in the eclipses and stuff like that. So I would say that this, in a nutshell, for the collective, especially for the USA, but for all of us, it's going to be getting back to normal with our kids, with school, with getting into public places, maybe without having to always wear a mask. Maybe over the course of the month after this moon, the recognition that the pandemic has ended, like the declaration that maybe we're now at the end of a pandemic, and not pretend that we're not pretend that we're not. Why would we pretend that we're not? I don't know, vaccines, you know, someone's got to make money at Merck and Pfizer. So anyway, continuing on, and no, do not peg me as anti-vaxxer, all right? That's not what I am. So anyway, let's keep going. I would like to also talk about each sign in the context of what this breakthrough is for. So let's go ahead and do a lovely all signs. And I want to share I love tarot. I've been doing it since I was in my 20s. And sometimes I have to pull out a deck. This is my New World Tarot that I love, 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 love. I can't remember who did it, New World Tarot. Can't remember her name, but it's an amazingly big carded, fantastically artistic, great deck. And we'll draw a card for each sign. So let's get going. Let's start off, as I always do, unless I have a good reason not to, with Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising folk. Now, remember, your rising sign will be everybody. Everybody listen to this, the most accurate, okay? And then if you want, look at your sun sign and your moon sign. Now, if you're born in the daytime, you know, the sun is above the ascendant descendant axis of your sky, you might be better off listening to your sun sign. Possibly if you're born at night, your moon sign, because these are your sect lights, but pay attention to what works for you. Be your own researcher of what the sky is actually doing in your life, and reflect back to yourself whether it's accurate. But again, for the most part, most circumstantially accurate content will be your rising sign. I say that a lot, but I have to continue. I'm a whole sign, Hellenistic, tropical, Western astrologer. And that's what we're looking at, is the whole sign astrology, not the sidereal. Okay, let's get going. Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign people. For you, you're going to experience this new beginning, this blossoming of something fresh, lorded over by Saturn, giving it legs to stand on, structure and discipline, in your 11th house of good spirit, a place where you can have incredibly positive benefits, such as pennies from heaven, yes, a windfall, great gains financially from your career, friends and allies who benefit you, the activation of your deepest hopes, dreams, and wishes, the aspirations coming to life. So this is a potent moon for you, Aries, sun, moon, and especially for you rising sign people. And because Uranus is sitting in your second house of, drum roll please, money, and Hygeia, and the 8th house of other people's money, government money, bequeathments, inheritances, there's a possibility that a lot of you are going to have some financial breakthrough who are Aries people because of this new moon. So keep that in mind. This could really bust through some kind of limitation in your finances qualitatively up-leveling things in the future. And with abundance and like ops and abundantia and ops on your Uranus in the second house right now, Uranus traveling to your second house is rags to riches and riches to rags. It goes both ways. But if you're in the rag stage, you could pop to riches. If you're in the riches stage, I don't think you're going to go down to rags right now, Aries, because you've got too much goodness coming from abundantia and ops on that Uranus. So I don't think anyone's dragging you down to rags. But just let you know, there's a lot of good change going on. With Hygeia in your 8th house, there's healing regarding things to do with credit cards, credit card debt, investments, taxes, bequeathments, inheritances, and spousal money. So that is got some good healing, just juice going on there as well. Could get a tax rebate or something like that. Found out you paid too much money last year. That would be kind of nice, wouldn't it? I would love that. That would be good for me. Moving on to the next part of the story. Let's keep going. Taurus, sun, moon, rising sign. I'm sorry, my table is moving. Can you guys tell? Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. In your sky, the new moon is in your career house. It is a new beginning in terms of work or job, new location, new job, new boss, new things changing in the workplace, something new and fresh is starting up there. There's a Saturn sitting up there, and the fresh start that starts with Saturn on, January 31st or February 1st, depending on where you live, is going to open up a gateway for you, Tauruses, of some kind of lasting job or lasting positive career change, especially also if you are a Taurus rising sun or moon with any planets between approximately, I don't know. Let me put the nail on that. Hang on a sec. I need to pause. I forgot what degree the moon was at. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be trying to record this when I'm a little bit off my game. Tired, just tired. Yes, 12 degrees. So if you have your rising sign, especially what are your sun or moon in Taurus, let's say anywhere between 9 degrees to 15 degrees, this is a particularly powerful shift regarding an opportunity opening up in the area of your work, coming through your own agency and ingenuity, because Uranus is in the house of you. You have to apply, you have to take the step, you have to do the thing, you have to ask for the raise. But if you take energy to do it, you will win the day with an opportunity. And you're getting some healing over there from Hygeia in the house of others, like friendships, significant friendships, or marriage partners, or sometimes business partners as well. And this is very intense energy because it's in a T-square to the moon. Some of it could happen through a lot of grit. Like, what do I mean? You could heal a relationship with somebody because the relationship ends, and that's a very healing journey to end it. Oh. Okay. Moving forward then. Hang on. I'm back. I had to pause, get some water. I put my glasses on. Anyway, Taurus, for you only, I will tell you, get these earrings from this Etsy girl down, links below for all of her fantastic designs. She's a local Vancouver designer named Melena. Okay, so moving onward. Oh my gosh, make me laugh. So career opportunity, breakthrough energy, yay, healing of difficult interpersonal relationships, maybe sudden endings, dumping the friend who's a nasty friend, or getting rid of the character in your life who doesn't work for you. All right, let's keep going. Gemini, sun, moon, rising sign. Oh, so guys, I'm laughing. I ate a pizza with wheat and had a beer 2 nights ago, and I'm still recovering because I'm allergic to gluten. I should remember that. So my eyes are watery, itchy, and eczema on them. So if I keep blinking and everything else, it's just that post-gluten response to a toxic substance. Yeah, it was organic wheat and an organic beer. All right, Gemini, sun, moon, rising sign. So first of all, the new moon is the new beginning in your 9th house. Now, this could be really good for your higher educational directions. If you want to start something new in your studies, especially with Saturn, anything new could take you the distance and go the distance, build a new foundation in the education area. If you want to join a church or a temple or a religious thing, new beginnings in your spiritual philosophy, or possibly something to do with a plan for a trip to a foreign land could happen here in this time frame of the 2 or 3 weeks following this new moon on February 1st. Now, It's also possible, because it's the house of the father, the ninth in Vedic astrology, that maybe with the sun up there, which represents the father, and Saturn, there's some issues going on with your father that will be in your front and center of your mind, Gemini, during this window of time. But also because there's the opportunity of abundance coming from Uranus on ops and Abundantia in your 12th house. The 12th house can be revenue from foreign shores and lands, barter and trade in foreign shores and lands. And guess what that is? That is like PayPal Stripe accounts going ka-ching, or getting some kind of international rights, because foreign lands and international themes are also ninth house. So some of you could be finding money coming into your life from places and people connected to other countries, from your country of origin. Also, Hygeia, the goddess of healing and health, is actually in the house of sickness, and therefore that energy is being applied to a fresh start in health protocols and routines. So this new moon, new beginning could be activating a shift in how you keep yourself healthy, whether it's your exercise or your diet or whatever. Hygeia is a healing goddess in that part of the sky. She is on a very positive star mimosa, very powerful energies going on in this thing. And Mimosa has this thing about grounding the sacred in the everyday. And, you know, the ninth house is a house of God, and the 12th house is a spiritual liberation house. And they're all three of these houses where this energy is going on. Uranus in the 12th, the new moon in the ninth, with Saturn and Hygeia in the 6th. Well, that has a lot of energy that might imply possibly that you have something going on here to do with the in between the worlds, spiritual enlightenment, spiritual attainment, moving up to a higher level, a connection to your divine source, and all of that. Okay, moving on. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign. Okay, give me a sec, guys. I need to grab something. So Cancer, I was just about to say to you guys that you have Uranus, sorry, you have the new moon in your 8th house of money. This is money that doesn't necessarily belong to you. Government rebates, tax refunds, all that, inheritances, your spousal money, you know, it's money, investment monies that you parlay, dividends, royalty income, and money that comes from things other than a paycheck, basically, directly. And for this energy to be given a new beginning, a new moon, which happens, you know, every time the sun and moon join in Aquarius once a year, but it is a new beginning for you, with Saturn really conjunct this new beginning. Whatever you do with your finances over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks from this moon may have real endurance and lasting value, especially given Uranus with opportunity, ops and opportunity, and Abundantia conjunct him, squaring your 8th house. Now, I know with square is attention energy, and you can often elicit a lot of the release of tension through the 2nd house, which in this case is the earnings house. But there's just something going on with your money story that's really intense, but I think ultimately positive, because Uranus is on that positive asteroid energy. I do think that with Hygeia, the goddess of healing and health, in your 5th house of money, luck, and speculation, that this is a really intense monetary story for many Cancers, a rising sign especially. Now, Hygeia could help heal some relationships you have with your children, or difficult relationship energies with any of your children, can be resolved very dramatically and suddenly with the help of Uranus and this new moon. But, you know, it might be also about disclosure and revelation, because the 8th house is secrets and a new beginning in the house of secrets. Maybe you need to share a secret with a child or a lover, or they will share a secret with you, and that can help, or something hidden from view, and that will help restore some balance. But because it is a T-square energy, it is gritty. I'm not going to say that's not, but ultimately the outcome is good for money, a relationship to children and lovers, and maybe even some really good, exciting developments around a bit of a windfall energy with Uranus in the 11th house, windfalls and pennies from heaven. So yeah, so it's kind of mostly a good money story for you guys, for sure. And anything else I want to say? No, you know, the moon is all about you, right? It's your planetary body. So this is always an important thing when you guys are looking at those moons to see what they're doing in your sky. All right, Leo, sun, moon, rising. Well, Leo folk, you know, this is all about your primary relationship, love relationship, business partnership, sometimes your clients, audience, other new beginnings in your 7th house. If you're a single Leo and a new moon is here on Saturn, and you're beginning in a relationship with someone older than you, someone wiser or more authoritative, or a new beginning in a relationship that could last. Now, Saturn going through your 7th house is not easy. This is a transit that started back in December of 2020 and does not end until March of 23. This is going to be very hard on existing relationships, Leos. The relationship is undergoing a time of difficulty and hardship. However, Saturn is trying to build a foundation that's strong for the existing love relationship, marriage partner, etc., and business partner. If Saturn can't get a good foundation, you know, like Saturn's like, we're not going to build on a crack, you know, so this is kind of make or break for relationships for you guys. And so keep understanding that the pressure that may be felt in your primary relationship is to strengthen it. But again, if the foundation is faulty, Saturn will end that relationship. Now, this moon is offering some kind of exciting Abundantia opportunity in your career zone, your 10th house, and it is square the 7th. So you might have a very dramatic career opportunity, but it may be also in conflict with the agenda of a partner, business, or love. At the same time, you've got Hygeia in the 4th house, healing something in your private home and domestic life. I would also wonder if there's a possibility for some of you Leo people, if there isn't some dramatic change regarding your home life, because Uranus is across the way, directly opposing Hygeia. So what in your home life hasn't been working for you with your roommates or your family you're living with or whatever, and there could be a dramatic change within that domestic private life, bolted into reality through Uranian energy. In this case as well, this could be something going on in the workplace that dramatically reorients you and then changes your conditions in your home life, for example. Like the boss is fired and you get up leveled to a new spot and then you're not at home as much and now you're not fighting with your roommates or whatever. Just some stories. Making it up as I go along. That's what astrology is. You make up stories based on the sky. It's like there's sky syntax and you make a story around it. Alrighty. Virgo, sun, moon, rising sign people. Now, this energy of this new beginning, this new moon is happening in your 6th house of your health and work routines, as well as your karmic debt, perhaps, if you have any, and the work you're doing. And almost a bit like if you're in a co-worker space, collegiate space, you go to an office or, you know, the place that you work at is 6th house sometimes. So, you know, there's a big new beginning here. So it's very literal, Virgo. Some of you may move your office to a new building, or your whole company moves to a new building, or you move from the current place of work and it's a new beginning because you have a new job. So there's no doubt about it. Some of you Virgos, February 1st, add 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be looking at new jobs. And there's opportunity here because Uranus, Abundantia, opportunity, ops, and Abundantia, abundance, is sending like a jolt of energy towards this new beginning in the work and health routines house from the 9th house of higher education, foreign lands, but also from the house of the father, the house of mentors and guides. Maybe you could say that, you know, a patriarchal father figure could bless you with an opportunity in a work environment, or a guide or mentor could toss something away, or something going on from a higher educational perspective informs a new job. You know, those are just stories, but who knows? Foreign lands and foreign shores as well. So some of you Virgos could get some kind of information or news on a trip from a foreign land or shore that has a big change in your work routines and your health routines as well. With Hygeia, the goddess of health and healing, in your 3rd house of trips and travel, you may take a healing trip. You may take a trip and it turns out to be healing for your health in a way you didn't anticipate. Hygeia in your 3rd house could also bring breakthrough healings and relationship to your siblings. I think also with Hygeia here, if you are at all thinking of doing anything to do with writing or self-expressing through writing, because Uranus is in the house of book publishing, Hygeia is in the house of writing, there could be some interesting energy building in that part of the sky, Virgos. A lot of you Virgos are natural writers. Lastly, you know, with Saturn, Virgo, people going through your health house, your sickness house, Since December 2020 through to spring of 23, March of 23, March 7th, in fact, you know, you're trying to find legacy, reliable ways to be healthy, you know, that you can, that will go the distance for the next 12 years, or well, more than 12 years, actually, for the next 30. So this is a once every 30-year opportunity, really, to really lean into enduring and reliable and trustworthy and lasting health routines. Things you put in place now will last a long time and go the distance, okay? And I can speak to that. I started yoga when Saturn was going through my 6th house, and then I became a yoga girl for 30 years after that. So that's exactly the kind of thing that can happen now. You discover some kind of health practice or routine or exercise, and you'll stick with it for 30 years. Libra, sun, moon, rising sign. So what's going on here, you Libra folk, is you've got this beginning of a new start, fresh start, a new portal of openings to something in your romance and love house, your children, your muse, your inspiration, and if you have your own business, independent enterprise as well. So some new beginnings there. It's also play, fun, joy, and pleasure. And it's not so easy to have all of those things with Saturn here. Saturn has been going through here for a year or so. He'll be there till March of 2023. So it's like you have to work hard to have fun. But if you're going to have a romance, it's going to be with somebody older or authoritative, but also that will last and go the distance, most likely. And when it comes to your children, if you have them, Libras, you could feel like this is a hardship or a duty or an obligation as a general principle until Saturn leaves there. But when he does, things will lighten up, and that's until March of 2023. Now, finally, I need to get a better seat with a better angle on my desk. Sorry, I need to rub my shoulders. I need a massage so bad. I haven't had a massage in 3 years. Okay, so Libra, Hygeia, the goddess of health and healing, in your money and earnings and resources and possessions, opposing Uranus in your 8th house. Well, thank God Uranus is on Abundantia and abundance and ops and opportunity. This certainly can look like a stock that you bought takes off. You know, you get a sudden government tax rebate. You get unexpected financial bonus points on the game board, maybe from a speculation, the 5th house, like buying a lottery ticket or gambling at the casino. But you could get some money jolts of goodness. This is definitely a money story too. I mean, houses 2, 5, and 8 are all money houses, and they're all activated for you. So yay, T-square in the money houses. Now, yeah, sometimes it's gritty and intense and intensity, but it's pretty mostly good when you got such a good Abundantia energy coming off of Uranus. You're healing something to do with the way you earn money. With Hygeia in the house of the voice, vocations, and your earnings, your 2nd house, you may be coming to terms, some of you Libras, with the way you're earning money no longer working for you, and you're wanting to make a dramatic change in the way that you make money and have money come to you in ways that are more pleasurable and fun. Maybe getting out of a job or a situation or a work environment, it isn't ideal, alrighty? And this new moon is helping you move in that direction. Okay. So Scorpio, sun, moon, rising sign. This is an energy that you're experiencing of a new beginning in the house of your home. There's no doubt about it. Could incite a relocation or a new direction about where you want to live, or big changes within your home. Like, you know, will you move between February 1st and then, you know, 2 to 3 weeks after this new moon? Probably not. I mean, I should have said this earlier. Every new moon kind of culminates 6 months later in a full moon, right? But you're planting the seeds for a new moon, new beginning in home. Yeah, you may not culminate that, of course, until 6 months have passed, putting you into the fruition, the fruiting of what has been offered here. So that would say to me that possibly the full moon will happen 6 months later during the Leo season will give you that time fruition in August or July, August. But it looks like it's going to be the seeds of clarity around homeland and real estate issues. I also think that you could be finding that some of this is about, you know, because Uranus is coming from the 7th house, it could be unexpected legal contracts and dramatic shifts around agreements. You know, don't forget, if you're selling or buying homes, it requires legal contracts. That's a 7th house thing. or initiative by a business or love partner that takes this opportunity and brings it into action for you. And, you know, Hygeia is healing your identity and physical health right now during the month ahead. And you may be at odds sometimes with your partner or your business partner, or even with your domestic situation, you know, the way things are going on in the home, about feeling healthy and whole. And there's something that's trying to come forth here, especially with that positive energy of star mimosa, grounding the sacred in the everyday that's happening in your first house. Now, my feeling is that you could be very much enlivened to have a better approach to your health because you see the light at the end of a tunnel regarding something to do with your home. But it may not be readily available for a few more months. All right, I hope that's useful. Certainly, I'd say at the very best, I could say this is a very healing energy, Hygeia in your first house, Scorpios. Sagittarius, sun, moon, rising sign. So Sagittarius people, you basically are looking at the energy of this incredibly powerful energy of this new beginning, new moon conjunct Saturn in your third house. I don't mind that it's conjunct Saturn. Saturn's in a dignity in Aquarius. I'm totally down for that. Yeah, he's squaring Uranus, but what the heck? That's something we're experiencing all year long anyway. So just more of the same old narrative. So basically, your new beginning in the third house is a house of trips and travel, siblings, local neighborhood. Certainly for some of you, especially if the IC is floating in your third house using whole sign houses, this could be the portent of a move, a relocation to a new neighborhood that could show up between February and about 6 months from now. And also this could be a new beginning, a new relationship, and you start with a sibling. All right, especially if you had any tension with that sibling. Now, Uranus is squaring your third house, Sagittarius. Bolts of energy from the sixth house, opportunity, abundantia, of livelihood and work and health routines, opposing Hygeia in your 12th house of your mind, like your, you know, your dreams at night, your like soulful self-undoings, your, you know, ways you unravel yourself, addictions and stuff like that. There's a dramatic shift going on here. Now, because it's connected to this third house new moon, it could be you go on a trip and it turns out to be very healing for your health and addictions issues. You go to see a sibling and you get a download or a healing with or from them. You have aunts, uncles, and cousins that help play a role in this breaking through energy. A trip literally can be also about an ashram, a sanctuary, a healing retreat, that you're percolating in February after this new moon. Although, will you take it in February? Maybe not. Maybe later on, maybe within 6 months. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising sign people. So the new moon is in your money house, a new beginning in the house of earnings and possessions and financial resources and self-worth and value and voice and vocation and calling. Lots of ways to parse that second house out. It's also what you eat and put in your mouth. So a few things. You could change your diet style dramatically. You could quit a substance that you stick in your mouth. No more cigarettes, no more, you know, alcohol. New beginnings, fresh starts here. Now, this is definitely good for a cleanse. Okay, no doubt about it. The energy of Saturn will help you get through something with discipline and focus. It will also help you organize your resources and money and financial story as well. Saturn is here until 2003 March. He got here in December 2020. He's not trying to slow down your earnings. He's trying to stabilize and foundationally create steadfastness in your earnings flow or your possessions. With this energy of a square from Uranus on Abundantia and Ops in the 5th house of money, luck, and speculation, you could have some money luck coming your way to support your financial growth or stabilize your finances. You could have something going on with a child or a lover, a love partner as well, that is also connected to your earnings, voice, vocation, and money. There's energy as well with Hygeia in your 11th house, also a money house. This is very much a potentially money-oriented story for a lot of Capricorn rising and sun and moon people. Because, you know, both 11 and 5, where Hygeia is opposing Uranus, can connect to money luck. There could be something going on here where there's a changing up, sudden change in terms of how your money is resourced by you or from you. You know, the 5th house is your independent business. If you want to have one, maybe some of you caps will go, I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to get the hell out of my employment story. And that could be very much a lucrative bolt of change that you want to make with this new moon. You might be healing with Hygeia in your 11th house, the relationship you have to your larger social groups and networks. If you've lost touch with them in the pandemic, you might be getting back in touch with your friends and experiencing some delight there, especially with Hygeia connected to the star Mimosa, bringing a lot of goodness in the house of extended social groups and networks over the next month for you. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. This is me, this is us. Okay, guys, so we're experiencing this new beginning in the house of ourselves. That's normal, and we get one a year, every year, time to renew ourselves, to shift ourselves in a positive way, to reset ourselves, reset our button. Saturn is sitting here, and this is our Lord, the Lord of our sign, as it is for Capricorns as well. So we basically are familiar with Saturn, and we kind of like him, you know? We make good crones and codgers when we get older because we're good with Saturn. We like to age. We're okay with aging, actually. We age well as well, a lot of Aquarians and stuff like that. So with Saturn now on this new moon in a house of our identity, we tend to want to start something fresh and new that fortifies our sense of self-worth and self-value, and also our sense of physical wellness, especially if your rising sign is anywhere near 9 to 15 degrees or so of the sign of Aquarius, or even 16 degrees. And this new beginning wants to have legs to stand on. It wants to go the distance. So any routines for your health that you pick up now, or your identity that supports you, will probably go the distance. You know, it'll last for a long number of years. I do think that with Hygeia, the goddess of healing and health and wellness, mind, body, and soul, in your 10th house of career, you're trying to heal something about your career that squares your body. Now, I'll speak to this. I love my work and I love my clients, but I have to admit, I tend to go to workaholic burnout levels of production of videos and seeing clients and teaching classes. And it may not be a sustainable pace. I'm 59 years old. And so Hygeia in my 10th house, and all you Aquarians have a different experience, to say, how do I heal something in the work story and the career story, that 10th house that supports a change around, squares a change around how I also support my body and my well-being. With Uranus, Abundantia, opportunity, and ops, all that juice down there at 10 degrees of Taurus in our 4th house, some of this has to do with where we live. Some of us are coming into a critical crisis energy, maybe, or a dramatic shift around home, or what we do in the home. I can't now tell how many times I keep moving this desk around, which is a rolling, what do you call it? Like a rolling drafting table, trying to find the best place in this little apartment that I love, but it's not my apartment. I am renting from a girlfriend because I transitioned from Montreal. I can't stay here forever. So I'm trying to figure out what to do, right? So my rolling table is my rolling desk. It's not even an office. So what is it that some of us Aquariuses are trying to reconcile between this abundance and opportunity available in Taurus regarding home and homeland and ancestral land and other, you know, the energies of the deep root of who we are, and healing some of our tendencies in that 10th house? For me, it tends to be overly ambitious energies that drain me out sometimes, and the wholeness around our identity. Okay, anything else? Certainly expect that things that unfold from this moon for a lot of Aquarius is not only lead to better health outcomes, but will indeed probably lead to a new home within the next 6 months, maybe fruiting in July, August when the full moon comes, maybe before then. Last but not least, the Pisces people. Oh, great fishies of the world, Pisces people. Okay, am I even looking at you guys? I'm looking at my chart. Okay, so this is a story in your sky that has a lot to do with new beginnings at a deep soul level, because the moon is in the 12th house of your past lives and your meditations and your reveries. It's also where you have addictions and self-undoing. Saturn here makes you very contemplative and spiritually deep, and kind of a bit of a hermit as well. This Saturn has been going through this 12th house with you, inciting sort of a celibate, Senex, crone, hermit vibe ever since December of 2020, and will continue till March of 23. Saturn is not here to give you a hard time, but to deepen your connection to your truer self, your soul, your eternal self. With this new moon here, it's a new connection to that. It's a fresh start that you can really plug into that, especially with Saturn right on this new moon. It's an intense energy. Now, the Uranus abundance is coming through the siblings house or aunts, uncles, and cousins. So, like example, maybe one of your siblings is going to offer you some financial support and you go, yeah, I'll take it. Abundance opportunity, house of siblings, or you're going to get on a trip somewhere, train, plane, or automobile, and that's going to open up some opportunities, ops for you regarding abundance, but also regarding this self-undoing, self-sabotaging 12th house stuff. It's a house of hospitals as well. New beginning, if you're in a hospital or in a care setting, like my sister who broke a bone, who's a Pisces rising, it could symbolize February 1st, freedom from that setting, although I'm sure she'll be out of that setting sooner. Hygeia is healing something to do with your trust in God. What part of your faith in a friendly universe or in the big picture of divine intelligence is being healed over the course of February 1st, add 2 to 3 weeks as this fullness of this new moon begins to give you some of those clues. And last but not least, because Hygeia is in the house of foreign lands, what are you healing regards to trips to foreign lands, relocations and moves to foreign lands, the connection of things in and from foreign lands to you? It's the house of the father. What kinds of father wounds are being healed in the wake of this moon that is going to help you as well. Ultimately, the houses involved, 12, 3, and 9 are metacosmos, between the world's houses. This is definitely a very deep soul work energy that's being instigated in this particular new moon. All right, I hope I covered everybody and I went through that pretty quickly, but I hope that's useful to you. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check my description box below for anything I have to offer. I am zonked. Mwah.